watching our podcast, Real Estate Insider, where America goes for funding your direct nationwide lender. Give Angelo Christian a call or text my office, 832-431-6331. Your direct nationwide lender for the last 20 years. We do commercial lending, residential, and private lending, servicing the United States. So appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching the channel tonight. Remember, you can give us a call or text our office. We're open 7 days a week at 832-431-6331. It's where America goes for fun. You can check us out on the web, official Angelo Christian, or on social media, Angelo Christian Financial. Tonight, we're going to be talking about our special edition is focusing in on loan officers. How do loan officers make it? How much income do loan officers make? How do they survive? What's the progression of becoming a top lender, a top producer? Because the attrition rate is so high in mortgage and finance. There's so many loan officers that fail, that don't make it. And there's a very, very small percentage that actually thrives and makes it to the top, and they become super successful. And then there's the bulk of the people is kind of that middle tier mediocrity, where they're making, slightly above six figures. And so what I want to talk about today is that progression and how to get to the top, how to become a top producing loan officer, because there's certain fundamentals, certain distinctions that have to be done, have to be executed on a daily basis in order to make that a reality. I want to talk about that today. So that's what the focus is today, not so much about loan products, which that's just an important part, but the background. Good evening, Kevin. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. The mechanics, the fundamentals, the skills of what it actually takes to become a top producing loan officer. And I'm talking about people that are making seven figures plus in the industry for a continued, sustained period of time, that have actually made that happen and that are doing that now. And so, because, of course, and I'm not saying that in order to be great or be good, that you have to, it's all based on how much money you make or how much volume you fund or produce. There's a lot of people that are very good at this job that have other priorities, such as families, that don't want to work 80 or 100 hours a week, and they don't care about money as much. So I'm going to talk about building systems, strategies, funnels to help you to get to the top where you don't have to work 80, 100 hours, because I did that for most of my life. And so that's not really a healthy way to live for a sustained period of time. It may require that at sometimes, and I'm a big advocate of Elon Musk and his mindset on career and focus. And I think that's very, very important. But I certainly don't think that is something that's healthy for the long term. So, because in the end of the day, if you're going to make a lot of money in any business, there has to be a lot of productivity or a lot of margin or value added to the end consumer. So in this business, there has to be a few things. There has to be a lot of volume, and there has to be a lot of margin. In order to do that, then there has to be a lot of working parts that are working in concert simultaneously at a rapid acceleration. So, I'm talking about building teams and how top producing lenders scale their business and do massive volume. And so, and the cool thing about like our structure is that we're a residential lender. We do private hard money, commercial, and standard lending. So because we have that wide buffet of product, it allows us to do bigger loan amounts, have more robust product line. It also makes it a lot more complex, and the lender or the team has to be extremely skilled and agile to be able to even scale or fathom something of that capacity. Because we're not just doing one product; we're doing and on a given day probably 30 to 40 different products, and they all have different cycle times and requirements. And so that can make it very challenging to be successful if you're working with many different products and they're all slightly different. So anyway, that's what we're going to be discussing tonight. So most lenders, loan officers, realtors, brokers, they kind of live in that world of, they make, zero to $100,000 a year. They close one or two deals a month, or maybe one or two deals a year, and some people are okay with that, but some people are not okay with that. They want to do more. They have bigger aspirations. They don't know how to do it. And then a lot of the brokers, realtors, lenders, loan officers, they live in that space between, you know, 75,000 a year to 200,000 a year of income, and they're closing, anywhere from, let's just say, $7 to $12 million a year in production. And so, and there's nothing wrong with that, but some people want to do more. They want to make millions. They want to close billions, but they don't know how to. So that's what I want to, kind of spend some time talking about that tonight, and how to actually do that and pull that off. So the biggest thing is, first off, you have to have the right product line. So you want to have products that are ideally bigger in volume. I think, in my opinion, if you can fund, loans that are $1 million plus, that definitely helps. Products that have a lot of margin, like, government loans, non-QM, hard money loans. My opinion is, staying away from things that have thin margin and are smaller loan amounts, because then you're going to have to even do more of those units. Hey, awesome. Good to see you, Hunt. Appreciate you for checking in and watching the channel. So, my advice, and I know that some people have different models. I mean, if you have a model that you do smaller loan amounts but more units, like a Walmart model, that can be a good model too. But it's going to take an awful lot of resources, and thank God for AI right now to help to simplify or streamline some of those processes. I mean, definitely use technology as much as you can. I still think the human element is critical and paramount to mortgage success, but definitely AI technology is certainly helping to streamline the process. So, but I think, larger loan amounts, a million plus, high margin products are critical. Um, and I would, my opinion, focusing on private lending, non-QM, government lending, bridge loans, or I think the top to focus on is staying in that $1 to $3 million range. Stuff that's fundable, great markets, great locations, and there's, huge liquidity available for that segment of that market. Okay. The other thing is that, which is also very important now, is building out the infrastructure of the team, because there is a cycle, process, and flow attached to funding these loans. So it's not, you can't, one person is not going to be able to fund $1 billion in lending. So you're going to have to build a very good team of processors, underwriters, closers, production managers, processing managers, sales staff. So you have to have this whole flow and this whole team built out. It's not one loan officer that's doing $1 billion a year in lending. They normally have a top producer, and then they have assistant salespeople, sales reps, and then they have loan processors, loan officer assistants, and then they have like for our company, we have a production manager that's kind of managing our pipeline from beginning to end to make sure that the files are moving. So building out the right team is very, very important to your success if you want to become a top producing lender and take your business to the next level. You won't be able to do it by yourself. I don't care what anyone says about AI and how it's taking over the world. I just don't. Someone's going to have to prove to me that you can be a one man shop and do $1 billion a year in business just with AI. I don't believe it, because there's too many complications in mortgage and finance, where I don't believe that's a reality. Now, maybe one day, maybe not in my lifetime, but it certainly could happen. I don't see how it can be done right now. So I think that the team that you build and the culture is going to be very, very important. So you have to get the right people on your team that, if they're, customer centric, uh, you know, passionate about mortgage, passionate about their job, helping people, student in the industry wanting to learn the business, understand the products, not fighting with the team or the customers, not being defiant, problem solving, high energy, great attitude, great focus, and everybody working together in harmony to help their customers to get their loans funded. Okay. So the team that you organize is going to be very, very important. And then also, how are you getting your customers? Are you doing pay per click? On Google, Facebook ads? Are you doing social media, referrals, networking? That whole segment has to be figured out with your marketing plan of how are you going to get the traffic to come in. So that's another big, big important piece to this is how to capture the customer, the cost to capture the customer, and then getting them through the flow, the sales flow, um, and doing it at a timely manner. One of the things that happens is that I see a lot in this business in real estate and lending is people get a lot of customers in, but they have a low conversion rate. You might bring in 100 customers or 100 leads, but if you're only closing 2 customers, well, what happened to those other 98 customers? Why did they fall through the cracks? Why didn't they get to the table? And I like to spend a lot of time investigating that because if you're getting 100 leads in, you should be able to close at least 20 of those leads. If you're losing, 80, 90% of your business and you can't answer why, or you don't know what happened, why do those deals not convert? What happened to your salespeople? What happened to your closers? That's a problem if you're a business owner and you want to know, hey, what happened here? How can I turn this around? Because for you as you being the owner of the company, if you only close 2 loans versus 20, that could mean a massive difference in your bottom line, in your ROI. So you want to make sure that those leads are converting and that the salespeople are doing the right things at the right time, that people are constantly moving the loans through the pipeline so deals do not fall apart. So this is a very, very important thing that, you have to have high speed, high sense of urgency, making sure that the customer is moving through the sales cycle at the right speed at the right time. One of the requirements that we have is that when a customer comes in, that they have to make a credit decision um, with that customer within 1 week. So, 1 month to figure out a loan is not acceptable to me. Not responding to your customer is not acceptable to me. Getting back in time, in real time, same day, having a sense of urgency, moving, like the speed of light, and being, having that mindset to satisfy and serve your client, to me is critical for your success. And the only way that I recommend to operate. You can't wait 3 or 4 or 5 days to get back to somebody and think they're still going to stay with you. They're not. You have to work incredibly hard and put in the effort, and respond to people in a timely manner. Same day has always been my requirement. You always get back to everybody the same day. You don't wait until the next day to respond to somebody. You get back to them immediately with an answer, whether good or bad, or you're working on it. But you're responsive, sense of urgency, communication, and making sure that your customers are moving through the sales cycle at the right velocity. That's a very, very important thing. And there's a lot of people that talk about in business and all sales funnels, kicking the can down the road, deferring things to the next day, not getting things done on time. And that kills a business because of cash flow. You need cash flow to survive. I feel like the great relationship, I think social media is great, but the great LOs are touching people all day. Yeah, I mean, you need to be, if I'm reading your message right, yeah, you have to be in touch, or your team does. um, it depends how big your pipeline is. A lot of times, like if you have several hundred customers in your pipeline, somebody is reaching out to those people um, constantly. You have to, because like just getting documents in from your customer, that's usually a big process. Clearing conditions from underwriting, getting just getting the loans to move. There has to be a team that's reaching out to the borrowers or the brokers or the realtors to get the paperwork in to move the file, because the loan's not closing until you satisfy all the conditions. So somebody's got to be reaching out to the borrowers constantly, nudging them. But some people are very organized and they have all their stuff together. I'd say that's, few and far between. Most people, they need to be pushed and nudged a lot, um, to get stuff done. So I don't know if that answers your question or not. Or I am agreeing with you. Um, oh yeah, great team. Yeah. So um, you got to have a really good team. I mean, the thing is that I'm I started in the business, as a one man shop, and basically doing all of the departments, and now growing into a large business, and with many different departments, many different team members, and several hundred customers a month. And so, and um, I really, my mentor was just reading books like, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, J.P. Morgan, just reading books. I didn't have a mortgage mentor per se. So I've kind of studied them on how to build a business, and through a lot of trial and error and a lot of mistakes, um, kind of figured out how to get things done, and seeing what it really takes. And it is just like any business. I don't care what industry you're in, whether it's pharmaceuticals, mortgage, you're in auto finance, you're in the cruise line industry, you're in manufacturing. It is a lot of work to pull something off, but you have to have the right systems in place. You have to have the right technology, to get the customer to move through the sales funnel in a timely manner. But all of it is, like, again, having the right product. You got to have the right products. In this case, great interest rates, products that are niche. I like niche products that make a lot of sense, that are innovative, that not everyone else offers. Some business models do it differently, where they are the lowest rate that's conventional, and they have a very thin margin. That's not really my interest, but some people like that model. They do very good at it. We like to have more of a niche business model with higher margins, and then building out sales funnels that move at a high velocity, to get those loans closed as soon as possible. So there's different models and different ways to approach it. And I do think that AI and technology is great, and it will get better and better and improve and reduce, you know, the labor cost, and the some of the inefficiencies that come with the human element. But I still believe that a human being, to this day, um, is pinnacle for a mortgage team to be successful in closing loans. Now that may change in the future, but as of 2025, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, these are the top things that I've seen that it takes to become a top closer, a top producing loan officer, and scale and success with your business. We do have our real estate university that we offer. If you want to learn how to become a top closer, it's a platform that I built. You can check out the links down below to Real Estate University. Obviously, we're a nationwide lender. We do commercial lending, residential, private lending. So please reach out to us if we can help you. You can always call or text our office. We're open 7 days a week, 832-431-6331. And all of our links are down below to our website, Official Angelo Christian, and then to our social media on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all of that stuff. And if you are one of our referral partners, don't forget, you can also, if you are a broker, whether you're doing commercial lending, private lending, you can get paid for your referrals on our loan partner program. You can get signed up. If you want more information about that, email us at loans@officialangelochristian.com, or call or text our office at 832-431-6331 if you want to get signed up, become a loan partner. And we also have our rewards program. If you go online to Angelo Christian Financial on Google, if you're one of our vendors or customers, and you leave us a 5-star happy review on Google, we'll hook you up with a free Amazon gift card. So you can go to Google, type in Angelo Christian Financial, we'll pop up there. If we've done business with you on the vending side, customer, whatever, leave us a happy review. We'll hook you up with that Amazon gift card. We want real legit reviews from everyone that's in our network. So we really appreciate that as well. Just a little token for us there. We appreciate you. If we closed on a loan for you, we processed something for you. We'd love to hear from you on Google at Angelo Christian Mortgage. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this tonight because I thought it was important, because we talk about loan products all the time. This is a different perspective on how to become a top producing loan officer, closing $1 billion a year in the mortgage industry. So if we can help with anything, we're here for you 7 days a week. We love you. I appreciate all of your time and support. Don't forget to subscribe, share this information, enable notifications, like that bell, and get this out to anyone that we can add value. So we appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching the channel tonight. We'll be back again next week. Thank you so much for watching Angelo Christian. We'll see you guys again next week. Take care. Peace out. Stay strong.